For the first time since 2018, the Indianapolis 500 has a female face, and that is none other than the Swiss Smith Simona de Silvestro, who will be racing in the NTT IndyCar Series for the first time since 2015, and this effort will be branded as Paretta Autosport, but don't let that deceive you. It is none other than the fifth Penske car we have been speculating will go to a lady. Paretta Autosport, named for Beth Paretta, a former executive of motorsport at Dodge. In this video, we will talk about their chances and their future if this comes off the ground as a well opportunity, how Roger Penske plays into all of this, and Simona de Silvestro's chances of qualifying and winning the 105th Indianapolis 500. So, obviously a big story, not only for the NTT IndyCar Series and the Penske Entertainment Corp's Drive for Diversity program, but for the Indianapolis 500 as well, as this now bumps up the entry list at least a bit. That should make Bump Day a real possibility, and along with a lot of IndyCar fans, I believe Bump Day is a right part of Indianapolis. Back in 2019, Fernando Alonso, the two-time Formula One champion, got bumped by Juncos Racing. But we're not talking about the 2019 Indy 500. We're talking about the 2020 Indianapolis 500. And I'm going to begin with a little background on Beth Paretta. As I said in the intro, she is a former motorsport executive at Dodge. She is actually the former director of SRT Motorsports, which is the motorsports brand, the motorsport arm, you could say, of Dodge. And the Penske connection comes in here. When she was in that position back in 2012, that was when Roger Penske won his first ever Cup Series championship, and he did it with Dodge Power. That was actually the last time Dodge was in NASCAR. They went out on top, didn't come back for 2013, haven't been in NASCAR since. It's been a three-manufacturer sport so far. But as I was browsing, trying to search up anything I could find, anything from Beth Paretta, from Paretta Autosport, I came to this Wikipedia article about Grace Autosport. They've changed it in the past couple hours. It has now changed to Paretta Autosport. But the team's history can be traced back to that Grace Autosport entry that attempted to compete for the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 in 2016. However, it was ultimately announced they would not attempt to qualify for the race. Their entry was to be piloted by Catherine Legg, who in recent times has kind of ironically injured her leg, but I'm not trying to glorify an injury there. This team is also scheduled to attempt the 2021 Indianapolis 500, and with this level of Penske support, it should be able to get off the ground and probably should be able to qualify, but we'll get into that later. It will be numbered the number 16. It will be Chevrolet powered, no duh, and it will be supported by a technical partnership with Team Penske and Roger Penske, and this is a huge opportunity because, as I said in the intro, if this gets off the ground, they talked about it in the press conference, if this gets off the ground well, we're possibly looking at a new full-time team in 2022 to possibly replace Meyer-Shank Racing. The car is to be serviced in North Carolina at the Penske shop. I believe it's in Mooresville, North Carolina. I could be wrong about that. And the car is actually the Juncos Racing car, and most of the stuff is being brought over from Juncos Racing, the car that Kyle Kaiser drove to bump out Fernando Alonso back in 2019. Simona de Silvestro, her first opportunity in IndyCar came with HVM Racing in the 2010 season. In her first Indy 500, she earned Rookie of the Year honors after qualifying 22nd and finishing in 14th. She suffered a burned right hand after a fiery crash at Texas on June 5th of that year, and her team strongly criticized IndyCar Series safety officials for their response to the accident. For the season, she started 17 races, finished 10, and recorded 2 top 10 finishes. Her best finish was 8th at Mid-Ohio, 19th overall in the series standings, and was runner-up to Alex Lloyd for Rookie of the Year honors. Her final season was in the Andretti Autosport number 29 in an attempt to make the Indy 500. This was just for the Indy 500. She finished 4th in the second race of the season, the Indy Grand Prix of Louisiana, but she went to KV Racing Technology for the 2013 IndyCar Series season, and she was the teammate to the Indy 500 winner Tony Kanaan. And on October 5th of that year, at the Grand Prix of Houston, de Silvestro finished second in the first race for her first podium finish, joining Danica Patrick and Sarah Fisher as the only woman in IndyCar history to record a podium finish. Her background does not stop there. In February of 2014, the Formula One team Sauber announced that de Silvestro would join the team as an affiliated driver and would undergo a year-long training program with the team, with the ultimate objective with racing in 2015. However, in October 2014, just a couple months after initially testing in April of 2014 with the team, Sauber team principal Manisha Kaltenborn stated that the team had suspended de Silvestro's driving chances due to the contract. In Formula E, she has some experience. On June 15th, 2015, it was announced that she would drive for Andretti's Formula E team at the championship finale in London, and later was confirmed to join the team full-time for the 2015-16 season against with teammate Robin Fringes, who is currently forging a good open-wheel career himself in Formula E. In 2016, de Silvestro became the first female driver to score points in Formula E with a 9th place at the 2016 Long Beach Grand Prix, and she finished the championship in 18th place with just 4 points. In V8 Supercars, it was announced in August 2015 that she would partner Renee Gracie at ProDrive Racing Australia in the Bathurst 1000. Following an impact with the wall at Forest Elbow on lap 15 for Gracie, the car underwent extensive repairs before being sent back out to finish 21st and 40 laps down. One more lap lost, and the car would have not been classified. In September 2016, it was announced that she had signed a 3-year contract as a full-time driver for Nissan Motorsport in the Australian Supercars Championship beginning from 2017. This followed another appearance at Bathurst alongside Renee Gracie, this time with the Nissan squad, where the pair managed to stay out of trouble amid the chaotic final laps and finished in 14th place 2 laps down. And in 2020, de Silvestro returned to Europe as a factory Porsche GT driver, contesting the 2020 ADAC GT Masters Championship, or German GT Masters Championship, she finished 23rd in the championship with 41 points, and she has been competing for full-time in motorsports since 2005, when she started competing in Formula Renault 2.0 Italy, and has since competed with Cuss Team 75 Bernhard in the ADAC GT Masters and the GT World Challenge Europe Endurance Cup with Co Racing. Obviously, a huge background of work for Simona de Silvestro, and it was basically a no-brainer that she would get this ride. The only other person being Catherine Legg that we could see making this ride possible. And now, how about we talk about their chances of qualifying and their chances and how they'll race in the Indy 500 if they do manage to make it. Qualifying, it should be pretty easy for them, considering that it's a Team Penske it's basically a 5th Penske car, just with a little bit more branding with Paretta Autosport. It it's going to be serviced at the Penske shop, and I mean, let's be honest. Roger Penske wants a fifth car. If he wants a fifth car, he's probably going to get this storyline into the Indy 500. And of course, it's a Penske car. They'll probably get in. That being said, they didn't have the best qualifying last year at Indianapolis. They'll probably turn that around. It is their home track, basically, with Roger taking up the reins from the Holman George family F in 2019. And for the race, I see them running mid pack, maybe having some troubles. I see them being like a dark horse pick. Not exactly like front pack, top tier Andretti, Penske, Chip Ganassi cars. I say put him down with the Arrow McLarens of the IndyCar series, and that's how I stand with this team. I completely support, as this is a great opportunity. If this team does well, it's a huge storyline for IndyCar, and they've got to hold on to it. If they don't do well, it'll always be an open market to get a female team into the Indianapolis 500. But I'm sure I missed a lot. Uh, if you want some more information, I'll have some article links in the description. If you want any more information, it'll be there. I'll also leave a link to David Land's video, who's a well-known motorsports YouTuber on the subject. And for now, I am Matthew Merlino, also known as Mad Dog Matt for Mad Dog Matt Racing News, and I will see you in the next video.